Hey, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Josh, and this is Sniff and Simmer, where I do both fragrance reviews and a little bit of cooking. So today, we're going to be taking a look at the very first Britney Spears fragrance I bought as part of this series where I'm going through and reviewing every single Britney Spears fragrance, because on a whim, I bought all of them except one. Stay tuned and find out which one that is. But this is the very first one I got, so if you followed along, you'll know that I was a little later getting into anything that might have been viewed as feminine. But in 2018, Britney Spears released the last set of original fragrances that she's offered to date, and likely ever. So this is Prerogative. Came out in 2018. I will get an image of what the actual packaging looks like, but I got this very quickly after it launched. As you can see, it's kind of tilted like that. You can tilt it on its side, pretty neat. This is the very first fragrance that she marketed as unisex. So has this little neat thing. It's that kind of pinkish purple, if you can kind of see there, and the liquid is the same color. So notes for this one are apricot, goji berry, and pink pepper at the top, with middle notes of coffee, saffron, and red lily. And then the base notes are sandalwood and amberwood. So this is classified as vanilla oriental, or amber, as it's starting to get known as. But with that, this perfume has gotten a lot of similarities to both Private Show, the previous set of original fragrances by Britney, and as well as Black Opium by YSL. Obviously another spicy coffee scent. So we're going to do a couple scents there, and I'm gonna spray a little more than I normally would on myself because I slept in some Egyptian musk by Kumba Made, which we'll talk about at a later date, and even after scrubbing, it's kind of still there. So I really do love this. At the top, you really do get the apricot, which is going to give it kind of that creaminess, that very round fruit. The pink pepper kind of fizzles in as well. And goji berry, a little difficult for me, at least at this point. It smells like a red berry. I don't really catch the biggest difference between that and maybe like a raspberry. The coffee is coming through, not quite as strongly yet. And yeah, I'm doing this one a little quickly. I'll expand a little bit. I have a video conference I'm running a little late for. But paper versus skin, I don't know, it really does come much more alive on my skin. Yeah, on my skin, I'm getting more of the floral already. And that apricot really is nice and warm and creamy. I've had this one for years. I've loved it. I am going to once again check back in regarding how it wears down throughout the day, as well as longevity. But truly, I did end up getting Private Show, which is much more coffee forward than this one is. So we'll talk about a little bit more the differences of that when I review that one. But what I'm going to say is Private Show, you'll smell like a delicious caramel frappuccino, as our Britney loves. But this one, coffee is more of a note as opposed to the note of it. So no, I think this is an absolutely lovely scent. I really do think it works very well unisex. Some people say it still leans a little feminine. I mean, I don't know. You're not gonna smell like a barbershop, but I don't think it leans too strongly one way or the other. There's enough spiciness in this, that it is going to keep it from reading too flowery and perfumey. So we'll check back in. I've loved this one since 2018. This is absolutely one of my signature scents. So looking forward to talking about it more. All right, checking in about 2 hours in. I forgot to mention the projection earlier. This is a moderate projection. So this top notes, less present by this point already, so it's less berry forward. What you really are getting at this point in it is going to be more of that coffee. But again, not super strong coffee. It is subdued with the saffron, that leathery scent, so it just has that kind of like dark muskiness at this point. You're getting a little bit of that woody base, and yeah, no, still lovely, still love it, still going strong. All right, so end of the day, and it's worn down. It really has. So it smells vaguely woody, vaguely floral, that red lily in it. And I don't know, maybe I'm just not accustomed to red lily because I feel like the top note should be gone, but I do keep wondering if I'm getting a little bit of that goji berry or if what I'm interpreting as that is just the red lily as opposed to a typical. On the paper, yeah, no, the paper still lasted. Yeah, that still smells lovely. That middle notes, the coffee and the saffron just pair really well together. Keeps it from being too gourmand, like a lot of the Britney fragrances actually. And stay tuned, I will be doing a review for Private Show, which again is more of that dulce de leche coffee flavor. So, Prerogative, the very first Britney fragrance I ever got. I would buy it again, I love it so much. Not just the fond memories, but I really think it's a nice, unique scent. So pick it up while it's still in production. This is Josh with Sniff and Simmer. Editing Josh checking in on Amtrak. Excuse the background noise. Incidentally, wearing the same shirt, really worked out. So something I wasn't doing when I recorded this was making a who would wear this, either character or person. So the Prerogative Original by Britney, I think the person that would wear this is your they-them friend who went to film school and is up for an evening showing of something obscure that lacks any sort of a plot. And my question for the comments below, what is a song that you've listened to the cover more than the original? So truly Prerogative by Britney, of course I have. But the one that I am also going to say, Valerie by Amy Winehouse. Found out it was a cover, listened to the original, never needed to again. She owns it. Okay, thank you.